What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Sidebar Podcast. We got a good one for you guys today, talking Top Gun Maverick, the highly anticipated sequel we alluded to in the last episode of Top Gun. We hit the staple categories, but not before getting into some what you've been watching. We take a little bit of a derail to talk about draft day in honor of the NFL draft being on Thursday. Cam and I express our gripes with the Kevin Costner movie Draft Day because I just watched it recently. We also talked a little bit about The Last of Us. We actually talked a little bit about the world of video games. And yeah, just kind of getting into pop culture today, hitting a little bit of the 2019 Oscars before getting into a great movie in Top Gun Maverick. Cam, you got something for us?
Yeah, this episode of the Sidebar is sponsored by High and Dry, a new web series from Gabby Lavoie and Devin Butera, coming to you.
Check it out.
On Instagram, YouTube, and probably other platforms that I'm not aware of right now.
Check out High and Dry on YouTube today. All right, baby, let's get into the episode.
5+ years of service. Spotify, Apple Music, and the only man to ever record a Lethal Weapon double feature in the last 40 years. Distinguished, distinguished, distinguished. Yet you can't get a promotion, you won't retire, and despite your best efforts, you refuse to die. You should be at least a 5-star podcast by now, if not on TV. Yet here you are. Sidebar? Why is that?
This is Top Gun Maverick. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Sidebar Maverick, Top Gun 2 edition. How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. How about
Good.
you?
Yeah, good, man. I'm good. I'm pretty happy. We had there's a lot happening in the world of video games, and today was a pretty monumental day.
Oblivion remake?
Dude, yeah. I'm very excited. And it's a little frustrating because as a Skyrim fan, me and everybody else who's ever played Skyrim is just patiently waiting for them to make Elder Scrolls 6, and they just refuse to. But all of a sudden they shadow drop the remake to Elder Scrolls 4, and you know what? It looks pretty good. I'm very excited to play it. I'm getting inundated with video games right now. For like RPG nerds like me, like this is a great time to be alive. I got Baldur's Gate 3 just came out with a new patch. I got that was weird. I just got like a little pop-up that wasn't a thumbs up. Baldur's Gate 3 came out with a patch. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Thumbs down for Baldur's
Yeah, it
Gate
was thumbs down, yeah. I got Dude, I got Elden Ring Night Rain is coming out. Like, all my favorite games are just like releasing all these patches, and I don't know how I'm supposed to get any work done with all this going on. Maybe I will quit my job to become a streamer, because now's never been a better time to do it. You know, that would be kind of go hand in hand with this.
Yeah, Sidebar streams coming next.
Sidebar streams actually wouldn't be a bad idea. Maybe we could go like
that might be a lane. Too bad you and I don't play. Like, what game would you stream? You're not gonna start streaming Ark. We start streaming Ark.
Dude, we could stream Ark.
We bought every expansion.
We did. You know what's funny is like I do see Ark streamers online, and like it's just. I mean, 90% of Ark is just farming, so like it's not like very riveting content. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I think you and I could make it good. Man, I miss those days when we played Ark together. That was like my favorite era of gaming. I think in my whole life.
That was COVID. That's why.
What was it? COVID?
Yeah, it was COVID. It was like late COVID.
Was that when COVID. Like you and me were doing it with like Made and BK and all those guys? Like Liam was on the server. Like we had like 10 people on the server.
Yeah, it was electric.
Yeah, that was electric.
That was like late stage COVID.
Yeah, it had to have been before everybody had to go back to reality.
Yeah.
Well, we got a good episode for you guys today. We got the highly anticipated Top Gun Maverick. We pretty much talked about this movie the entire time we did Top Gun 1. I'm really excited to talk about this because I feel like you might agree with me. It's miles.
I said it. I think I said it in the last episode. It's so much better than the first one.
It's really good.
I don't understand how like people. I guess I do understand to a degree, but like how people got obsessed with the first movie, like in the '80s,
Yeah.
and like this is just so much better.
Yeah, it's funny because like obviously in a world of non-original content and non-original IP, like there's just so much drivel being put out there. And I felt like this was gonna get caught up in the mix of just like, oh God, they
Mhm.
remade Top
Well,
Gun.
it had, it's funny we brought up COVID, right? Like this movie got hemorrhaged by COVID. It was
Did
supposed
it?
to
Is
come
that
out.
when it came out?
It got delayed for 3 years because of
Oh,
COVID.
okay.
No, it was supposed to come out in July of 2019.
Wow.
No, maybe that's not right. It was like filming maybe in July because COVID
Yeah.
happened kind of,
2020.
like yeah, late 2019 or something. But it got delayed for 3 years, right? And it didn't get released anywhere because Tom Cruise was so adamant about it, like going into a theater. Because
Mm-hmm.
like everyone was doing like you remember the when they started doing the streaming at home, which like that's another thing that sucks.
Yeah, sucks.
That is a thing now where you can pay like was it $20 to rent a movie?
Yeah, yeah. You like, yeah,
Like
yeah. I mean, Wicked was on Peacock for like 25
you
bucks.
you paid for it, didn't you? No
Oh,
shot you
no,
didn't
no,
pay for it.
no. I waited until it came out. I waited until it came out.
Nice. Hey,
But I did see it twice in theaters, so they got my money anyways. Who cares?
yeah.
But I did go see Top Gun Maverick in theaters.
I
And
saw that in theaters too.
yeah, it was phenomenal. It was a phenomenal movie to see in
So
theaters.
good.
There's so many awesome scenes in this movie, and I think like we'll get into it in a sec, but like just the actual flight scenes in this movie are so far above everything that
Hey,
happened back
so
in the.
far off.
It's gonna be easy for us to compare this, compare Top Gun Maverick to Top Gun. Let's remember that Top Gun came out in 1986. It was a very different age for film. It was a very different age for cinematography and visual effects and sound editing and everything.
Yeah.
Um, so let's try not to just bash Top Gun for not being up to par with this movie. But yeah, there's just so many amazing cinematic moments in this. Before we do that, what you been watching, Cam? Hit me with some of your recents. We took a week off from the sidebar,
All right.
and I know we've both been busy, but have you found some time to watch anything good in between the last couple weeks?
We're gonna take another 1 week to 2 week Mauritium on Severance.
So you still have not watched Severance?
No, I haven't watched Severance. I really haven't watched a ton, if I'm being honest. I have a couple. All right. I got one thing I've watched, but I also have a gripe
Okay,
because I
let's
was
hear
looking for stuff to watch, and
it.
I was just like getting really annoyed, so I ended up watching the NBA playoffs, which I guess that counts too.
Okay.
Go Celtics. Um,
Yeah, go Celtics. Celtics in
all right, so
six.
I watched a little bit, and like it's like I guess it's kind of related because he's in an episode of it, but he wasn't in this episode. I watched an episode of Black Mirror. You ever
Mm.
watch Black Mirror on
I,
Netflix?
I I did watch I watched like a couple episodes in the first season when it came out way long ago,
Okay.
but I quickly got off of that show because it's far too real for me and scary.
I watched an episode. It's like a sequel episode to the one with Jesse Plemons in it. I don't know if
Mm.
you've heard of that one.
Mhm.
It was like a direct sequel episode. It was pretty good. Of the first season. I haven't watched any other episodes of it since, but pretty strong.
That's one of those shows where it's episodic. You don't have to see the entire season, right? Like
Yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
goes.
Each episode is like its own story, but it's all connected. Like at the end, like you see like this technology where they put the other people in somebody's mind, and they're just like looking through their eyes. Which
Mhm.
we don't need to get into the whole thing. It's too it's Neuralink, that whole thing. But my
Yeah,
gripe, right? Why does every fucking documentary now have to be a 5 episode limited series?
I agree.
You can't give
Thank
me
you,
in 90 minutes.
thank
What the
you,
fuck?
thank you for
Like
saying. Yeah,
I just don't understand it. Well, I guess I do understand it because they're milking it, but it's like, and also there's
no.
just so many, you know, that
Not everything needs to be
yeah,
5 episodes, and not for nothing. Each episode is an hour and a half long. I mean, what am I? How much do you have to tell me about? Like, okay, I have this gripe. We're from New England. We're New England sports fans. How many more 2004 Red Sox documentaries are going to be forced upon me? How many
I
more
say
Red
don't talk.
Sox
Let's
documentaries?
not get into the dynasty right now.
I'm just saying from a standpoint of you've made far okay, I've seen now probably three separate 2004 Red Sox documentaries. Like we know the story. And this one was 3 episodes. We
Well,
don't need
dude, how
that.
about talk about like the fucking Aaron Hernandez? documentaries. It's like, yeah, I think we know what happened.
There was like four of those. There's been like 8 OJ Simpson
Dude,
documentaries. Like,
there's like already, and he's not even like finished the trial yet. Like 15 Diddy
oh,
like
Diddy, yeah,
documentaries.
Diddy,
You know?
Karen Reed trial ended last summer. It's already got a documentary. Like, yeah, I mean, but I agree with you. I think this whole multiple episode documentary thing really annoys me because if you're gonna make it that long, like just make it a for television like TV show. You know what I mean? Like how they did with like the People versus OJ or the Aaron Hernandez thing. Like at least add some drama to it so that it's worth sitting through 5 episodes to watch. Because yeah, that really annoys me. The only multi-part documentaries that I'll enjoy are nature documentaries. Those are fine by me. Those are fine. But like, I don't need all this. I think was it How to Make a Murder? Or, oh, sorry, Making a Murderer. When that came out way back when, I feel like that kind of sparked this whole movement because Making a Murderer was like a TV show documentary. You know what I mean? It was like one of the first ones.
Yeah.
And then of course we got blessed with Tiger King during COVID, and then that just had everybody by the balls forever.
But that's more like that's like I'd argue it's more like reality TV than documentary. What's
Yeah,
the
that did
line
feel like
really? You know, what's the line? Let's talk about
I know
that. What's the
that's a
line?
good question.
Because like documentary, they craft narratives. Like let's talk about, I'm gonna bring up the Dynasty that
Yeah,
basically gave Bob
yeah,
Kraft all the credit for the Dynasty the entire time.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
I
And
don't
all the
think
credit,
that's I don't
and
think
tried
that's
to give
true.
and tried to give him the credit for, or tried to force blame on Belichick for what happened with Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah,
That show was ridiculous.
yeah, but it's like what's the difference between that and reality TV? They just got a camera pointed.
It's
There's no
true. It's
acting.
true.
You know?
Yeah, I wonder if I mean I think I'm sure there's probably clear definitions, but like yeah, at some point I feel like you're right. Tiger King could have been considered just a reality TV show because it had all the elements of a reality TV show, but for some reason it was a documentary. Does that make Love Island a documentary?
Uh, I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
Then
so,
I'm.
like how is Survivor not just a documentary about how
Yeah, it's for
people
true.
like
I mean,
like
hey,
survive?
Mike White is in it, so he's as much of a filmmaker as anybody. So
You know?
the
All right, which one wants to go?
yeah the I've been watching a couple things. I just started this new show on Apple TV called Prime Target, which is
You're a
really
big
fun.
Apple TV guy, huh?
I'm a huge Apple TV guy. I think Apple TV by far has the most
Well,
good, interesting TV shows. Most of
it's
them are
funny you
only
say
one
that.
season.
It's funny you say that because Apple TV tried to buy this film
They
and
tried to buy Top Gun Maverick.
yeah, and distribute it during
Oh,
COVID. They were one of like the big people who were trying to do it. Paramount
oh yeah,
was
yeah, yeah. I remember that. Yeah, I mean the movie thing is a little annoying, but like Apple TV is banging out a lot of good stuff, dude. I mean, I have a massive list of all of these Apple TV shows that I've seen, and I would recommend them to anybody. But Prime Target's really fun. Think of like if Will Hunting became Nicolas Cage from National Treasure in Cambridge, England. Like you've got like this smart mathematician who's like unlocking all of these like historical secrets, and then people are trying to come after him. It's a fun show. It's new. It's interesting. The cast is really good. It's got the kid from White Lotus season 2. It's got the governor from Walking Dead, which was a legendary pull by me. And yeah, it's a fun show. It's really interesting. I would highly recommend it. I'm about 3 episodes in, and it's been a good watch for me. Um, I watched. Well, you know what? I feel like have you played The Last of Us, the video game?
No, I have not.
Have you seen the show?
I think I saw a little bit of season one, but I have not.
Okay. Okay.
It's
Season two of The Last of Us is out. It's a pretty popular. Just similarly to White Lotus. It's just another HBO banger. They just keep coming out with one after another. People are pretty hooked on Last of Us. Last night, an episode dropped that was massive, pivotal. For those of you who played The Last of Us video games 1 and 2, there was a pretty insane scene involving a golf club that I guess I won't spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it or played the games, but it's a pretty wild moment. And Pedro Pascal continues to just have some pretty insane moments on TV in HBO shows. I'll spoil it. Pedro Pascal gets his head bashed in by a golf club, and once again, Pedro Pascal has found his head bashed in on an HBO show, similarly to Oberyn. He's just never going to get
Super
off of
too.
this. It's tough. It's tough for him.
Mhm.
I watched 2 movies this weekend when I was hungover. Um, The Social Network, which is one of my favorite movies, and I would be happy to do it on this pod because it is a really good movie. It's just like a guilty pleasure movie for me for some reason. Like a comfort movie. Like I always just want to watch it. If you haven't seen The Social Network, it's amazing. Aaron Sorkin, Jesse Eisenberg. What's the name of the kid? Well, Justin Timberlake, Brenda Song. And then I'm blanking on the kid who plays Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, the second
Andrew Garfield.
iterations, Andrew Garfield. Um, Phenomenal movie. One of the best. One of my favorites. And then immediately after, I watched Draft Day with Kevin
Oh,
Costner.
dude, I can we do wait the NFL draft? Oh, it's this week. Fuck.
Could you imagine if we did Draft
I,
Day on the
yeah, we're
sidebar?
doing yeah we're doing draft day next week.
I, I,
Book it.
I, I
I'm
don't.
so you don't
Yeah,
want to, but I'd be so
not,
in. I freaking
it,
love that movie. It's such a
it,
we could gripe that movie so
I
hard
was
too,
gonna
bro. It's
say
like it's
this
a
is
perfect sidebar movie. It's a guilty
far too.
pleasure that has so many undeniable plot holes. The cast is unbelievably stacked.
The
We're
cast is
gonna
crazy. The
all right,
cast is
all right. How
crazy.
about this? We're gonna new segment sidebar in the sidebar. Let's talk draft day for like 5 minutes real quick because
Please, I'm happy to because I hated it.
Kevin, you hated draft day.
I
Oh,
just
dude,
like,
it's so unrealistic, but it's so God. I love that movie,
dude.
bro.
I wanted to like it. I really wanted to
Why'd you
like
hate
it,
it?
but
Why'd you hate
I,
it?
I mean, I guess for one, like, I'm not a Kevin Costner fan. I really am
Kevin,
not.
yeah, I get that. Costner never really does for me. Jennifer Garner, not what we needed
I
in the film.
it's a rare Jennifer Gardner appearance. Like I feel like I don't see her in anything. She was fine. I don't have any gripes with her, nor do I really have any gripes with Kevin Costner. I just don't really. Waterworld was great, but like I'm not a Kevin Costner guy. But like, okay, the
Dennis
cast is
Leary,
incredible. I mean, you got a Dennis Leary cameo. You've got a a P Diddy cameo, which
dude, yeah,
absolutely needs to be revoked. Chadwick Boseman, like you've got these crazy good actors. Freaking Arian Foster's in this movie, dude. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying,
like
dude. It's not a
Terry
look.
Crews. Like, it, I think my gripe with it was like I really expected it to be like this high intensity war room. Okay, it's draft day, like, and they kind of do it like when they have like the clock going, but like it felt like there was just zero sense of urgency throughout the entire movie. Like Kevin Costner's
Bro,
like
the movie
has
is
to make
so
all these.
ridiculous. It's so funny. That's why I love it. The
Yeah,
quarterback who like may or may not be signed, we're not sure
Bo
right now.
Callahan.
No, not Bo Cat. Well, yes, Bo Callahan. They didn't go to his birthday party, and then so they knew he was going to be dog shit. That's
Yeah,
hilarious in its own right, right? The GM trading like 3 years of first round picks and second round picks because the GM made a comment saying make a splash,
yeah,
and then he gets them all back
and then
plus
having
more.
getting them all back, drafting a linebacker at number one overall,
Yep.
and then receiving 3 years of first round picks after that. Like it's not
and
a it's
and
not
and David Goddamn Putney.
David Putney. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great moment. Is David Putney a real football player?
I probably not. I feel like it was based a lot. It's funny that like that year with the that year in the actual NFL draft, 2014, when the movie came out, it was very similar because it was the Browns, right? The
Mm-hmm.
Browns traded up. It was a little
Mm-hmm.
different, but like they like traded up like twice and had a bunch of trades on draft day.
Don't tell me that was the
Oh, it was a Johnny Manziel year.
Johnny Manziel year, dude.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah. Which is like definitely pick Kevin Costner would make. Let's be real.
You think so? No way.
Yeah,
Costner would.
Costner, yeah, and Costner doesn't fall for the hype. You're right.
No,
He
I
would have
think,
drafted that though.
dude, he's
He
not a
would
G.
he would have drafted Khalil Mack 1-1 that year, which
I
is
mean,
probably what Vontae Mack was based off of.
you wouldn't you? I mean, I would have drafted Khalil. But Vontae Mack, he was like an edge rusher, I guess. He wasn't even like a linebacker.
Yeah, that's like what Khalil Mack was. It's
Yeah,
the
I get
exact
it.
comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those rare movies where the NFL like actually allows like their image and
Yeah, and to
likeness
use all the
in a
licensing.
movie. Like which is like okay. There's so much hype around this movie. Like I feel like I have to see it, and it got force fed to me on TikTok by like a million different accounts. Like
You
so,
got dude, you got algorithmed.
yeah, I got algorithm super hard into watching draft day. My biggest gripe is that like okay, Kevin Costner is not like this super smart GM. He puts his franchise in the worst situation they've ever been in their entire lives, and the entire movie is just him figuring out a way to get himself out of this situation. Like
Yeah, but
he's
he
not a
does.
smart guy. He's an idiot, and the whole movie is just him backtracking. Like It doesn't make any sense because you could have drafted Vontae Mack at 7, and all of this could have been avoided. Like the story is just bad. It's just like, oh, it's fun to see, like, who's gonna be the GM of the Bills, and it's like that young dude from, I forget the name of that movie. Yeah, I mean, it was, dude. It's just I don't know. I really
All right,
wanted to like it. I just
all right,
couldn't.
back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Back to my regular scheduled programming.
The main sidebar.
Yeah. Top Gun Maverick, baby. How much did you love this movie?
Dude, it was it's
It's a
such an
good. It's a
easy,
good rewatch.
such an easy sit down and watch.
Yeah, it
Quick. The
is.
pacing in this movie is so quick. There's no.
It's
Can
pretty
you
good.
name one? Can you name a dead moment? The slowest part of the
Um,
movie was like the first part.
I was gonna say, like, when he
Where
gets like dishonorably discharged or whatever, like towards like the latter half of the movie. But like, yeah, no, I would agree with you. There's really not many lulls.
yeah.
The
Um.
yeah, no, just it moves pretty quick, but it also like it I just feel like there's so much more meat to this movie than there was like Top Gun the original. Once again, I'm already doing it and I'm trying not to, but like this movie just like it could have been its own movie. Like it didn't even
Top
need to be
Gun.
Top Gun.
Top Gun is a trailer. Top Gun Maverick's a movie.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah. Top
Like
Gun felt
that's
like a trailer. Like it just felt like a lot of like shallow things happening, but like Top Gun Maverick is a really good movie. I go like, and I'm also surprised that they haven't continued to do this, especially Tom Cruise. Like, why has Tom Cruise not remade Cocktail or like um any of the 9,000 movies that he was in during the 80s, like Rain Man 2 or something?
well,
You know what I mean?
I think some of them. I think one he's a psycho action star now. Like he's not going to do a lot of the more character performance type stuff because he's just
Yeah.
like wants to push the boundaries of the stunts he's going to do. There's no way Tom Cruise like survives his filmmaking. Like there's gonna be
Dude,
like he's just gonna keep pushing the boundary until it's impossible, right?
I
Like
mean,
he fires like the safety guy he gets. I'm pretty sure.
as soon as they stop making Mission Impossible, like Tom Cruise is just gonna kill it. Like his heart's gonna. Tom Cruise is like Jason Statham from the movie Crank, but his crank is that he just needs to keep making action movies. And as soon as they're done making them, he's just gonna drop dead because this guy just needs to keep going. They're flying real planes in this movie. I think that he gets
Dude, the
behind the
flying
cockpit
in
in a
this
couple
movie,
of them.
the flying in this movie is so crazy. Let's just get
It's
into that,
so it's
bro.
perfect. I mean,
With like when they're and how they show the differences between the planes.
I
The
know.
F-14 versus 16 versus the F-18s, the new gen
Yeah,
fighters.
F-18.
Bro,
Yeah,
when the new
F-18s.
gen fighter does that like flip thing in the air, when it just like does the Maverick move, and Maverick's just like, "What the fuck was that?"
Dude,
And
I
then just
know.
starts,
I had that written down as in that final scene. Like he pulls like the most insane maneuver to dodge that missile. Like he just free falls for a second and turns around. Like that's
dude, yeah,
badass,
it's
dude.
like what?
Yeah, it's like
Can you
what?
so? Can you imagine what Mav can do in one of those?
Is that not
Like,
what they're flying? I mean, honestly, like maybe I'm dyslexic, but like
so the
I
whole
don't know
point of the
what
movie, the
planes.
whole point of the movie is that they can't fight like they can't really engage the enemy because the enemy
Yeah,
has better planes now.
the
Like
enemy
the
is
U.S.
better
is falling
planes.
behind.
Yeah,
So those
yeah,
F-18s, those black ones, look like they're all
yeah,
like fancy and new. And
yeah.
like the plane Maverick fights in at the end is a 14, which he used like in
And
Top Gun the original.
yeah, is that what is the plane that him and
Yeah,
Rooster get
that's the
into at
one they
the
were
end?
using in the
That's the
original. Yeah,
original.
yeah, yeah. Because he
Yeah,
hops in and says he's like been a while, Mav. You
yeah,
know?
yeah. Yes, they had to add that in. That was there's
Yeah.
so much of this just felt like Tom Cruise pandering. Like this entire movie was just like,
Dude, well, let's talk about the nostalgia, right? Like, I mean, this is going to be one of those sidebar episodes where we just talk about, we really walk you through the entire movie, and I have no shame about it, honestly. I really
well,
don't.
yeah, because I don't have a ton of best scenes. So I'm glad that we're
It's
doing
really
this.
best line, best performance, too. It's like, it's just,
Do you want
actually,
to
we
like
can talk.
what happened? What happened this year in movies? I mean, this came out not that long ago. I'm trying to
Oh,
think of
yeah,
recency.
2022. Yeah, we didn't another time we get so hyped over the movie, we skip all
Yeah,
the,
yeah, no,
the
I love
previous.
learning. I love that part where we can just talk about other
95th
movies.
Academy Awards,
Yep.
2022. Let's see what won. Everything Everywhere All at Once. I never saw that one.
Oh,
I need to.
oh, it's so fun. Great movie.
All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: Way of the Water, Banshees of
Ugh,
Inisherin,
and
Elvis,
Assurance.
Ed Sheeran. Oh
Oh,
my bad.
Elvis. This was the Elvis year.
Yeah. Top Gun Maverick, nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah, good. Cool.
Woman Talking, Tar, The Fablemans,
Oh,
Brendan
the
Fraser,
favorite.
Brendan Fraser, Best Actor, The
Oh,
Whale.
this was the year of the whale. Okay. This
Mhm.
was a good year. This was a good year for movies. I mean, Everything Everywhere All at Once, I think, took people by surprise.
I mean, it basically
Um,
swept the awards, dude.
yeah, well, it was weird because it wasn't like marketed very well, I think. But like, as soon as everybody started watching it and realized like this movie's incredible, and that was
This
key.
year,
That was Ke Huy Quan winning Best Supporting Actor, I
yeah,
think,
you had a
in
lot of good
his
movies this year
return.
too that were
Oh,
nominated too.
that was
A
actually a
lot of
really
good.
good year for the Oscars. That was a fun year for
Yeah.
the Brendan Fraser finally getting his flowers, even though nobody saw
Yeah.
The Whale.
This year,
Um,
you also had you had Black Panther 2. There's another movie I just saw that was
oh
huge. I
yeah,
can't
okay.
remember.
Well, Avatar 2 coming out is pretty massive. I did go see that. I begrudgingly saw
Avatar
that
2
in
was
theaters. That movie
yeah, it was fun.
sucked. I hated it.
Mhm. It
There's
was
a lot of
fun.
good movies. All Quiet on the Western Front, it got a lot of love. Have you seen that? The war movie?
No. Knives Out, Glass Onion came
Oh,
out.
Glass Onion. Oh, great year for movies. Glass Onion was
Yeah,
fun. Glass Onion was
yeah.
fun. I like.
Pinocchio.
I would be happy to do a who done it on Sidebar because I love those movies. Those
Yeah, we
movies are
talked
so
about. I think we
fun.
talked about that. It's on our shared list that only you
Yeah,
update.
definitely the one that only I have to. Have you added anything to the to the
Nah, it's all
Sidebar?
list is all up here, baby.
Yeah, yeah. I did add Tombstone to it the other day just because I was thinking about my boy Val Kilmer, who finally gets
Oh,
oh,
dude, a
Val. Oh,
fitting
I
tribute. I
know.
honestly
I
like.
know.
I shed a tear during the Val,
He's still
like
alive during the
the funeral.
making of this movie, but I felt like I
But
was mourning him back
the
then.
funeral send off
It's a
is
great
like,
send off.
you know, and like you got
But
the moment with him where he can't talk.
I know.
He can't
Well,
talk in real life, so that's why they have him typing.
yeah, that was all real because he had throat cancer. Like that was a real
Yeah,
thing. I
yeah.
think he had
But
his
I
larynx
think the way in
removed.
this movie they used Iceman for just like when he texts Maverick 2 in the beginning
Yeah,
of the film,
yeah.
you know,
I
easy.
loved all of it. I think it's easy to think that it would be kind of like pandering because that's really which is what a lot I feel like this movie like a lot of it you could just look at it and be like ugh pandering but like it kind of works a lot of the time though like they found a way to make it work really well. um yeah, wow, what a year for movies. So I want to start by talking about the movie by just I think you're probably alluding to it. um Beautiful homage to the original in just the opening of the movie. I mean, the opening
Mhm.
of Maverick is so great. It is I think it's almost a shot for shot remake from the original. With the song, with the opening intro, like with the floating text on the screen, and then kind of like Danger Zone being played with them, like kind of running
Yeah,
around on the aircraft. Like, oh god, this is great.
Danger Zone
And
and just
after,
planes flying around is literally just like a fuck yeah America scene.
yeah, dude, fuck yeah, America.
Like that's
It's
like the
so perfect.
entire
It's
thing of
so
that scene,
perfect.
right?
I love that they did that, and it's funny because like watching, I remember seeing it in theaters and being like, "Oh, I think that's like how that's like the song in the first movie." But then like having watched now Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick back to back like this, like it's crazy how almost shot for shot they redid the intro,
Yeah.
because it is almost the exact same. And I think you open the movie pretty quickly with Maverick, with the Maverick redemption arc of him being like a selfless guy, like he clearly wants to. Maybe they hurt us. Oh, I guess maybe not. Maybe they saw the hatred towards Maverick in the original Top Gun, um,
This film
because
did Maverick a lot of justice, dude.
so
It
much justice.
it really turned turned the
It's
page
a
on him as a character,
The
and
whole
that he was.
movie is just Maverick
Here's the thing,
redemption
though.
arc.
I no, it's a redemption arc, but it really just changes the fact that Maverick was an asshole when he was younger, and now he's just like a fucking troll. Every time he speaks to John Hamm in this movie,
Oh my god,
is him just and like tell me I love the John Hamm can just play such a fucking asshole.
he's such a good
Just
dick.
he's like the perfect level
He's
of
such a
just
good
like
asshole.
irritable, but like you kind of have to respect it because he's coming from authority.
There's a lot of good villains in this movie. Shout out Ed Harris, but also like Glenn Powell is the dude now. Everybody wants him.
Put that in your government budget. That fucking guy says that to Ed Harris in the beginning. That
Like
kills me.
he's like the rear admiral of the Navy, and like some like desk jockeys saying put that in your budget. But like like John Hamm is an incredible bad guy, kind of just like a jerk. But like, man, I'll tell you what, Glenn Powell as Hangman, he's really good in this. He's really good. He's got
Dude,
such a
there's no way.
punchable.
There is no way this movie does not get a sequel with Glenn Powell and Miles Teller
I
anchoring
mean,
it, right?
I'm hoping that they're kind of passing the torch here because
there was one in development.
is that a question?
Like, no, there is. I'm telling you. As of 2024, I don't know what that looks like.
I'd
But
be
like,
happy to see more of
if you're
this.
Glenn Powell, right? Yeah, this movie made you kind of pop off, but you were already like on a streak of popping off. I don't think you signed to do this unless like it's a
Well, was
you
that
get
true
multiple
though?
pictures.
I feel like this was kind of the first
No,
thing that
you know
I
what?
really saw him
No,
in.
this definitely came out first. No, you're right. This came out first because this was filmed in 2019. So I'm wrong because
Yeah,
this was
no,
filmed
I
like that. It took forever to come out.
yeah, he went on a run after this movie. I mean, he had Twisters, he had Hitman, he had Anyone But You. Like he just
Yeah.
and now he's just the Hollywood heartthrob. But I think that this was one of his early movies. I think he was in something else before this that I'm blanking on, but he
No,
was
you're right.
really
He was
he's
really good
really
in
good
this.
at this movie. He is. 'Cause you know what? He's such a smug bastard. And
Oh,
like it's easy to play a smug bastard, but like he's just got such a punchable face in this movie, and every time he does that cheeky little smile, I just want
yep.
to hit him. And he's really good. He's really good.
Miles
What do
Teller,
you want to
Charles
hit me
Frohman.
with some best scenes?
Best scenes. Let's talk about the attack dogfight football. That looks so much fun with the two
I'm
footballs
watching
on
I'm
the
watching
beach.
that scene and I'm going, they're playing football with two footballs. What are we doing here? What's the point of this? And then he says that at the end, dogfight football where you play offense and defense at the same time. That sounds awesome. I want to play dogfight
So sick.
football.
Yeah, so sick.
It
Oh, be
was a good
careful.
it was a,
You don't need your other part of your face broken.
last time I played pickup football it did not end well for Dan. So maybe that would be a disaster for me. It's a good homage to the volleyball scene, which is my favorite scene in the original Top Gun. I don't think the beach football scene is my favorite scene in this movie, but it was fun. You had to add that in. If you had the volleyball scene, you have to add another scene when they're on the beach. Like, come on, man. You
But
got
I
to do
like
it.
how this movie does like you know, the homage to the first, right?
Yeah, it does. Because
Where it's
immediately
like it's a similar scene, but it's taken. Let's talk about another similar scene: the Great Balls of the whole bar scene in the
yeah,
beginning.
yeah.
I liked
Great
from start
opening
to
scene.
finish. One, he goes and he finds it's Penny, right? Am I getting
Penny.
her confused? Yeah, he goes and finds Penny. Call back to the first movie, The Admiral's Daughter, where he originally gets sent to Top Gun 4
Yeah,
by her father, right? Kind of
she's
full circle.
never in the first movie, Penny.
No, she's not.
She's
But
just talked about.
that's a perfect way they replaced the love interest.
Yeah, but let me tell you, Jennifer Connelly has aged like fine wine. She looks
Mhm.
incredible in this movie. Jennifer Connelly is timeless. She's great. She's great in this movie. But I remember seeing it and go in the theaters and going like, "Who the hell's Penny?" Like I must have missed that. It must have been a small scene in the original movie because I had no idea who
Yeah,
Penny was.
so yeah, in the beginning of Top Gun, the first movie, when him and Goose are getting reamed out, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then Brad gets told Top Gun, they're talking about Maverick and the Admiral's daughter. That's the Admiral's
Okay.
daughter.
Oh,
She's the
I
Admiral's
see.
daughter.
Okay.
And when
She
he gets back to Top Gun, she says, like, "Oh, you messing around like another admiral again?"
Yeah, yeah.
And it's
Oh,
like
okay. I
full
didn't pick up on
circle.
that. Wait,
Yeah.
she's the daughter of the guy who says your mouth is writing checks that your body can't cash.
No. I think she's just a different admiral. I think.
Oh, okay. Oh, a different admiral. Okay, okay.
But like
Um,
they talked to well no they talked about it in the first film like Maverick got in trouble for messing with an admiral's daughter.
yeah, yeah. I remember him talking about that with Goose. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She's great, and that whole Great Balls of Fire scene is awesome because like, well, you know what they do is a really good job of making Miles Teller look like Anthony Eds from the original movie. Like the same outfits, the same hair, the mustache, like just kind of like that fun, upbeat swagger that Eds has in Top Gun. Like Miles Teller's doing a pretty good job of paying him tribute in this movie because like yeah, that's Goose's son, man. That's got to be Goose's son. He's great. Miles Teller's
Dude,
phenomenal in this movie.
he looks like Anthony Ed's actual son.
He
Like they're
does. That's
such
what
a
I'm
perfect
saying.
match. Like
That's what I'm saying.
I can't believe it. Yeah.
They do a great job with it. I mean, and then yeah, he's got to play Great Balls of Fire and then I think it's funny how Tom Cruise gets kicked out and then like as they're playing it in the background, he's just
It's
like
just
turns into
sad Tom Cruise. Yeah, it's I will say
once
like small gripe. Does everybody in the Air Force know that song?
yeah, I mean, how
It's
many
like 2020.
it's 2020 like I'm sure like 90% of people born after I mean, how old are these? How old are they? You think are they like our age, like late 20s?
Yeah, they got it. Well, yeah, they
Do
already
you
went through
know?
Top Gun. They already went through
Do
Top
you
Gun. They were like part of the top pilots. They're probably like maybe yeah, late 20s to 30.
do you know the words to Great Balls of Fire? I mean, not after watch. I mean, after watching this movie, you probably do.
You shake my nerve and you rattle my
Then you
brain.
rattle my brain. Da 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 da. Love drives a man insane. Da 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 da.
I can't. I don't remember the next one.
Oh, what a thrill! Yeah, I mean, nobody knows the words. I don't know. You have to like this movie is the perfect amount of pandering and also the perfect amount of new
Mhm.
freshness. So they've found a way to marry the two into what is a really good sequel. Um, I like that scene when he's doing that. I had a question: how much do you think Maverick actually owes at that bar? Because
Dude,
he
at
hands
least like I mean, how many people were there? It was packed. At least 100 people in the bar,
at
right?
least.
He only had to pay for one drink, but like I also have a feeling that Maverick just like kind of doesn't really like take care of himself that much and like save money and like do things. So like he also I don't know.
Well, clearly, I mean his card got declined.
Yeah,
So,
but like how much could it be? Like it can't be more than like $2,000, bro.
oh, I was gonna say I think it's definitely over $1,000, but
Yeah, but like you think his card's declining on 2K? He's like I guess he's
I
just a
mean,
captain. That's the whole point. But
yeah. But I mean, like, is this just poor me talking? Like, who has 2K in their checking account at all times? You know, unless it's
mhm.
his, unless it's his, unless it's his credit card, and he's only got like what? How much of a credit limit does Maverick have? Like
Mad they won't.
$800 credit limit.
Yeah, Capital One doesn't trust Maverick, dude.
No, he doesn't have a very high line of credit with Capital One. Um, I love the return to the Iceman. I just think like again we talked about it a little bit, but like it's a really good way to just put Val in the movie.
Mhm.
Even though I mean he would have retired from acting long before this came out, but like of course he's going to be in this. I think it's fun. I think it shows like how impactful the first movie was to him. Like that, I am like I would say he's on his deathbed. I mean, I don't know too much about it, but like I know that he was retired from acting. I know that he could hardly speak 'cause he had his larynx removed, and he still wanted to be in this movie. That's awesome. That's an awesome homage. Even if it's just for one scene, like that's great. I'm glad that he showed
He,
up because it's a
yeah, but he was
powerful
perfect.
scene.
He was perfect, like for Maverick in the film.
It's a powerful scene.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that he was in
Um,
there writing on the writing on the computer. Like all of his lines really
yeah.
stick with you. Yeah, goddamn, it's really good. And he's still, you know what? Val's still a good actor even when he can't
Mhm.
talk. Man, I love that dude. Rest in peace.
Honestly, dude, I could just go through every scene in this movie and why it's good, Dan.
Yeah, I
Because
I,
like
I think
the other two I'm gonna mention, like I guess we can just get into them. Is anytime they're in the planes when he's doing the range training with them the first time and he like checks all
yeah.
their egos and he just one
Oh
by
yeah,
one takes all of them out.
he's just
He's
picking
just
them
fucking
off.
around. Yeah, he's fucking around. And then also the obviously like the end fight scene is awesome, right? They do the mission. All right, let's get into
Oh
it.
oh,
The
the
end.
mission's sick. I want to say
I don't
that
want to. I
this
don't
I
want to complain. I don't want to complain. When you look at the mission, right? They got to shoot what looks like a shack and then a vent underneath. Who's taking the second shot, Dan?
um the
Rooster,
trailing
right?
the trailing the trailing
Yeah,
guy
yeah. And which is whom?
Rooster.
Yeah. And what happens to Rooster's targeting system that he has to shoot in the vent?
Yeah, but he goes freehand, man.
He freehand. Okay, fucking Luke Skywalker. Yeah, okay. Like,
It is so ridiculous.
I get it if that's the first shot and he's got to hit like a general area.
Yeah.
They go in the chute.
Yeah, you can like you literally see it go into the vent. Like he's flying. What is 700 knots? Like can you equate that to miles per hour? What
I don't
is
know.
nautical what is knots to miles per hour? Um so if we were to do 700 knots is 800 miles an hour. So he's flying 800 miles an hour, 100 feet off the ground. He
Yeah, it's like, oh, quick.
he freehands a dropping a bomb. Yeah, that honestly more
Dude, he
impressive, more
I need
impressive,
I need an
more
edit.
impressive than
I
Luke
need an edit.
Skywalker.
I need an edit of Anthony Eds just saying like, "Use the Force, Rooster," like
Yeah.
as a ghost the whole time. Like,
Far more impressive than Luke Skywalker hitting the Death Star.
absolutely,
Far
yeah.
more impressive. Far more impressive. Not to mention, like in the scene in the depths in Star Wars when he hits it, the missile like drops in, and
It's
this
still
is just like
shower
a
bucket.
yeah. This is just like a straight shot, man. Like there's no homing missiles or anything. No, I think that this movie is fun because like what I realized about the first Top Gun is the plot is just that they're at Top Gun, right? Like there's no it doesn't really seem like there's any sort of plot outside of just like a bunch of people hanging out in a military school like Top Gun. Like, yeah, like there is kind of like at the end
I
when Tom
But
Cruise.
that's what I think about this movie, Dan. That makes it so quick pacing. Is like there's a mission. You have 3 weeks.
Yep,
Quick.
exactly.
You
That's
know.
what I'm saying. This is like
That's
it's almost like a war movie. It's almost like a war movie in itself that I think is it's interesting. That's why it doesn't even need to be Top Gun. It could be anything and it's fun. But
yeah. But
yeah,
I
like
like that it's Top Gun though.
no, I
That's the
agree,
thing too. Like it's the
of
elements of
course.
Top Gun play really well in
Yeah,
the story.
but like again, we're marrying the perfect combination of pandering with the Top Gun and then like this whole new idea like where they like actually have to do some like active military shit. Like in the first Top Gun, like you have that scene at the end where with Tom Cruise where they like they kind of have a dogfight a little bit, but this movie the
It's because they're in the
entirety
Cold
is
War though. Yeah, they were in the Cold War.
yeah. Is that what?
You know,
Wait, the first Top Gun takes place during the Cold War.
I think at like late Cold War because they're against the
Wow.
Russians, dude. Like that's it's definitely Cold
Yeah,
War.
true,
Yeah,
true. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I didn't even pick up on that. That's crazy. I think they mentioned that in this movie though. They mentioned how the first one was in that. He's like, oh yeah, he
I
killed
do
people when I
like
was in the Cold War.
I really hope for a sequel. I do like how they kind of set up Hangman to be next Maverick and also next Iceman.
Well, and not even that. I just think like, okay, well now I don't. You don't even have to keep like redoing the Maverick, Iceman thing. Like now you have a good
Well, I
story with
think.
two
Well,
good.
I'm sorry. There's no way they make another Top Gun without Tom Cruise involved. So it's not like they're gonna get rid of Maverick, right? They set up Hangman, which is Glenn Powell, to be like the younger Maverick, who's a shithead who
Oh, I see what you're
abandons his
saying.
wingman. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But he's also
yeah,
like he's the only other. They mentioned in the movie he's the only other guy to kill or like to take out another
yeah. True,
plane
true.
in combat,
Yep,
right?
yep,
Like him and Maverick are the only ones. I'm pretty sure. Maverick has
yeah.
like four, and he's got one.
It would be
And,
pretty wild to make the next movie have Glenn Powell be the headliner when like Miles Teller I think could arguably carry the movie better than him.
yeah, I agree. Well, I think they'd probably be together. I think that's like
Yeah,
a tandem,
they
you know.
just make another movie with the two of them. Like it doesn't have to be like you don't even have to keep following
Yeah,
the storyline
give me
anymore.
a 5 minute cameo from like a retired Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
Um,
or fuck it, dude. Put Tom Skerritt in the old one, like in the new one. Is Tom Skerritt still alive? Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
well, Dan, he won't be. He won't be much longer. Nice work.
Oh, he is. He's still alive. He's Tom Skerritt is 91. Holy. Okay. Yeah, let's get Tom Skerritt in the next movie. I swear to God, if he passes away in the next like 2 weeks, then I need to stop doing this. Because I keep calling it. I think
The scene
all of the training scenes
I was gonna
are
say the scene where
so fun.
the training scenes, but my favorite, and I think one flying a plane, scary. Let's just talk about
Yeah,
that. The G force
yeah,
that you see, like,
right.
was it Payback? You see him.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
dude.
just going straight up, and
He
passes out, and
passes out.
Maverick's whole plan, which I didn't really I rewatched the scene before this. I didn't understand at
Yeah,
first. I was like, what is Mav gonna do chasing him in the plane? He can't
agreed,
stop him. But
agreed.
then he locks on the targeting system to wake it up, and I'm like, oh, that's genius.
To the targeting system to wake him up, like when the beeping goes off, like the
Yeah,
beeping in the plane would wake him up. Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, I wonder if that could actually happen. Like, is that like, whatever. It's fun, but yeah, you're right. Like, what is the if somebody passes out from G-force? Like, what is the alternative? Like, there's no
I
way
don't
for
think there
them
is
to.
one. Yeah.
Damn, yeah,
And then
that's pretty crazy.
you have the bird strike that happens seconds after they get out of there
How? I
with
mean, I understand
Joe
that they're
too.
not supposed to have the most technologically advanced planes in the movie, but like we haven't created technology that can, somehow bypass this whole bird strike thing. Because isn't that how the Sully Sullinger plane went down over the Hudson River? Was a
Yeah.
bird strike? Like, how have we not figured this out yet, engineers? Like, there's really no way to avoid that? Like we can
Yeah.
put people on the moon. We can't avoid a pigeon flying into a plane and destroying it. Um, yeah, it just seems, but yeah, every single training scene is so fun, and there's like 4 or 5 of them in the movie that last for like 10, 15 minutes. But like where with Top Gun the original, I think again just due to the fact that it was made in the 80s, like the technology wasn't as advanced, but like I kind of got a little motion sick watching those original flight scenes because it's just like a stagnant view of their heads in the cockpit and then kind of like lagging video of the planes flying by. Whereas with this movie, like I feel like I'm in the freaking cockpit. I'm following everything that's
Dude,
happening. I know exactly what's going
I
on.
can't imagine how they filmed this movie. Like the way, and you
Crazy.
see like you see all the other planes in the background too. So it's not
Yeah.
just like,
I mean,
like in
it's
the
got to
first movie, you're
be.
right.
I'm sure that there was plenty of CGI that was in this. Like I'm sure.
Yeah.
I can't imagine every single scene with the planes was like done on camera, um, but whatever. I mean, this is the perfect time to make this movie. Like cinema has evolved to the point where like this really works. Like I feel like Top Gun the original was ahead of its time, man. They were doing some crazy stuff that nobody'd seen. Now we've come to a point in cinematography and physical like special effects where like God, this movie is just fun as hell to see. The scene when they're doing the mission and they fly into the canyon and you get that one shot of all 4 of the planes flying directly behind each other, like hovering over the water. That's
It's
one of
so
the
cool,
most amazing things I've ever seen. That's so cool.
dude. This entire movie is just like had me. That's so cool the entire time.
And I love how we kind of get this in like the third act, when the mission is going on, like now we have Tom Cruise and Miles Teller like behind enemy lines. Like that's fun. That's an element to.
Dude, it's like a little like kind of stealth thing where they're going in, they're like
Yeah,
faking the running by the enemy
it's
soldiers.
fun.
They get in the old plane,
God, the
or
moment the
they get in an old dogfight. Tom
yeah,
Cruise
dude.
somehow takes 2 of them out.
Yeah, crazy. The moment where you think Tom Cruise is gonna get killed by the helicopter, like and the missile just comes and takes the helicopter out and it's Rooster, like, whoa, that shit's badass, dude. That's a badass
Yeah,
scene. I love that
so
moment.
good.
Did you know that Tom Cruise owns a P-51 Mustang, which is the plane that him and Jennifer Connelly fly off in at the end of the movie? Like that's Tom Cruise's plane.
That's
He's so ridiculous, dude. He's like the most famous man of all time, and he's just like, yeah, I bought like an old World War II
yeah.
plane. Screw it.
He probably was
Like that's.
practicing. He's probably practicing, dude.
I'm sure he knows
Can
how to
you
fly. I'm
imagine him
sure.
trying to convince Jennifer Connelly? Is like, hey, take a ride with me.
Yeah, yeah. We're not gonna do stunt doubles or anything. Generally, like,
Yeah,
yeah, I want you like to make this really organic. I want you to get behind the like. I'm gonna fly this plane. We're putting this in the movie. Okay, Jerry Bruckheimer. I don't care how much it costs. We're doing it. Yeah, great movie. I know that this was like I remember seeing it in theaters. I don't know if you remember this, but before the movie comes on in theaters, Tom Cruise does have like a little opening. I kind of like when movies do this, like when the actor's like sitting in like a room and he just hey guys, hope you enjoy the movie. It's me,
yep.
Tom Cruise, and I remember seeing that in theaters and to open the movie before it started, and it was just like he's like we fly real F-18s in this movie, and I'm like God, he wanted this movie to get made so badly. Like this was his idea.
Dude, that's
This
why
was
he wouldn't let it go to streaming. And I
yeah,
honestly like this movie. I think would not have done nearly as well on streaming,
yeah,
for obvious
probably,
reasons. But like
probably.
just going to theaters, like seeing it was so cool.
It's fun when like pet projects get made by actors. Is this like the most anticipated and big budget pet project we've ever seen? Because
Has to be.
in
This has
my
been in development for a long time. I think.
yeah. I mean, it got nominated for an Oscar, so
Yeah.
well done, Tom Cruise. You can do it all, man. I mean, I know he didn't like direct it or anything, but like still, I know he probably poured a
I mean,
lot of his
yeah,
own money into this,
yeah,
and he probably had a pretty big hand in this script as well. Considering that Maverick just gets nothing but redemption the entire movie. Like,
yeah.
they even say it. He even says it. There's a great line when Rooster, when Rooster crashes and then he has to go save him when they're behind enemy lines. He goes, "I was supposed to save you. I was supposed to risk my life for you. That's the whole point." He literally says that in the movie. Like,
And
we
then he
know
goes right
exactly.
after. He's like, what were you thinking? He's like, you told me not to think. And Maverick's
Yeah,
just like, ah, shit.
damn it,
And
damn it. Um, what
that's
do you think
literally
the
his
best?
reaction. It's like it's literally just like ah. rats.
Yeah,
You know,
rats. There's a couple like hidden funny lines in this, like in the scene,
dude.
like
Well, let's
right
go
towards
through.
the
Like,
end.
I think we've talked about pretty much everything in the film except for
Yeah,
performance and line.
yeah,
So you
yeah,
want to do
yeah.
line or performance
Yeah, let's do
first?
line. I don't have a lot, and three of them are almost the exact same. But
Okay, you go through yours. I have a good amount that I think are just so funny out of nowhere.
all right, cool. I'm gonna just rattle off these three that I really like.
Yep.
Talk to me, Bob.
Yep.
Talk to me, Bob. Hit me.
Also,
I love Bob.
shout out Lewis Pullman for playing Bob in this movie and Bob in the upcoming Thunderbolts Marvel movie.
Oh, is he in that?
Yeah, two
Because I
Bobs.
like Lewis Pullman a lot.
Yeah.
He's in Lessons in
Yep.
Chemistry, which is another Apple TV show that I die
Does he play
for.
Bob?
And
Does he play Bob? Does he
oh,
play Bob?
please tell me his
And
name is Bob.
dude, if he plays
Please,
Bob, he'll
I'm gonna
be
look it up right now.
undefeated. He's just Bob and everything.
No, his name's Calvin, but yeah. Anyways, that movie or that show rocked. Lessons in Chemistry is really fun. Um, you gotta see it if you haven't seen Lessons in Chemistry. But I'm glad that you like it. Okay, so talk to me, Bob. Okay, my next
Mhm.
one. Talk to me, Dad. This
Yep.
Rooster calls
Great one.
calls that back, and then Maverick rounds us off with a talk to me, Rooster. Perfect. Give me
You
five
didn't
more.
find more. You didn't find more lines than that. You didn't like
Well,
more.
I had a
Dude,
couple more.
there are some such good ones.
My
John Hamm alone could fill up the entire category here.
Yeah, he
Hit me
does. He has a
with
lot.
a hit me with a 30 plus years of service, combat medals, citations. Only man to shoot down 3 enemy planes in the last 40 years. Distinguished, distinguished, distinguished. Yet you can't get a promotion, you won't retire, and despite your best efforts, you refuse to die. Like, so good,
he's su-
dude.
he's such a dickhead. He's so mean to Maverick. Like just off rip, he just hates Maverick. It's
A
all
little one
awesome.
I liked from Miles Teller was when they're just flying around. He's just like, "Come on, Mav, do some of that pilot shit."
Yeah, that's sick.
Like,
Yeah, that's a sick line.
so good,
I got
bro.
one. I got one.
Obviously, put that in your Pentagon budget. That one cracked me up so hard in the
But what are
beginning.
your payout? That's a great one.
Yeah,
I got you're going back to Top Gun.
yep, that's a good one. Title of
Beautiful
the film.
title of the film.
You're going back to Top Gun, Maverick. Did you hear
Maverick.
that?
Yeah.
Comma Maverick. Title of the film in
Yep.
the film.
I like when they're at the bar and Rooster hits Hangman with Hangman. The only place you're leading anyone to is an early
It was an early
grave.
grave. Yep.
Banger of a line. Banger.
Yep.
Yeah. Glenn Powell's such a dick, dude.
Dude is so perfect though. Like
But like I'm so annoyed with Glenn Powell because like
he is so perfect. Even with the Lions, like he just instantly start. Also, Tom Cruise obviously doesn't age, right? But Glenn Powell at the bar is making fun of him like he's wicked old.
yeah,
And
yeah.
the realization the next day that he's the teacher is
Call
great.
back to the original movie when Tom Cruise is hitting on the lady. I forget her name. When Tom Cruise is hitting on Kelly McGillis is playing Blackwater, and then her showing up the next day. Like once again, pandering, but still good and still fun. Yeah, this movie had some good lines. It's not as there's not as many iconic lines as the original movie, but like this
No,
movie
no, I think so.
is much more the I think like the cinematic elements than it is lines.
I don't
Did
like
you
that
have any
look,
more?
man. It's the only one I got. I
Yeah,
like
that's a
that
good
one.
one. Yes, yes, I had that one too. Yeah,
That's
it's
a
the only
good
one I
one.
got. That's the only one I got. Yeah, that's great.
And really, it's just a lot. It's just every time Maverick is just like a troll toward John Hamm. Cracks me up in the movie. You know,
Yeah.
like
Can we put?
the whole lower the flight deck, the hard deck, where
Yeah.
he's like, you will not. He's like, if going forward, I'm going to have a written report on your daily, teaching to the
Yeah.
pilots, right? He's like, do you have any questions? He's like, yes, sir. Here's a formal request to lower the hard deck.
Did Maverick get put on a PIP, a performance improvement plan by John Hamm in this
Yeah,
movie? Sounds like a
yeah.
sales guy who didn't do his job. Um, the the scene. Can we nominate a Val Kilmer written line on the computer where he just says, "You need to let go."
He
Perfect.
just keeps pointing to it.
Yeah, he
I
just
actually
keeps.
think, I actually think his line, at least impact for the movie, his text in the beginning is better, where he's like, where Mav's like pissing him. He's like, "Why didn't you warn me?" And he's like, "Would you have come?"
Yeah, would you have come? Yeah,
About
yeah,
Rooster,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah,
like,
true. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, yeah. Val has some very well written lines in this movie. Um, So I'd give it to him if I could nominate anybody for it. Okay, hit me with your best performances for this, John, because I got a couple. I think we both like Lewis Pullman, weirdly enough.
I mean, there's the
It's kind
problem
of
is,
funny.
is like I feel like the other characters aren't given enough to do, and there's not like
Yeah,
there's no stakes with the other characters. There's stakes with
yeah, agreed.
Magnum. There's stakes with Miles Teller. There's maybe a little bit with Glenn Powell, but he's just really good at playing an asshole. I don't think there's a lot of depth to his character.
Yeah,
You have Penny, who I think plays like you know I think she plays a fine performance in this.
good love
Jo-
interest.
love John Hamm, but it's a Glenn Powell problem.
Yeah, yeah, it's not a problem.
It's a one note character. They play that
Yeah,
note really fucking well.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They're good at one thing, and they're all doing it really good. But this movie was made for cool planes flying through canyons. Like that's why this movie's fun. Again, it's not driven by the lines. It's not driven by the script. It's driven by
No, absolutely, yeah.
the cinematography and the physical effects.
But I
Or
think when it comes to a best performance conversation, right? It's like Matt. It's definitely Tom Cruise or Miles Teller. Oh
Yeah, and
man,
I honestly like. Okay, real quick. So Lewis Bowman, we like him. Val Kilmer, rest in peace. Like amazing in this movie. The fact that he even came in here. I think Maverick has Iceman's name in his phone as first name Ice, last name Man,
yep, love that.
because
That's just such
if you
a
if you look at the phone, it's just Ice is texting him. So that means that his name in his phone is first name Ice, last name Man, which fucking rocks. Um, John Hamm is great. The guy doesn't age. I mean, he looks exactly the same as he does when he was in Mad Men, which is really. I don't see a lot of John Hamm out there, but whenever I see
love
John
John
Hamm, I'm
Hamm.
just I'm just
Love
happy. I'm
John
just
Hamm.
happy that he's there, man. I freaking love that guy. How about Ed Harris making a cameo in this movie, man?
Hmm.
What was the last Ed Harris movie you saw? Remember the Titans? No, he's not in Remember the Titans. Radio?
Yeah.
He's great in Radio. Um, yeah, Jennifer Connelly. I mean, oof, she looks better than she did when she was young. Jennifer Connelly's been acting forever. I mean, she was like one of the original heartthrobs back in the '80s. Like she was like the it girl back then. Shout out to St. Elmo's Fire. I love that movie. Let me just quickly fact check myself and make sure that she's in St. Elmo's Fire before I
That's
mistakenly
what they
take this
call
back.
that's what they call a
And
Danism. She's not,
and
is
I
she?
was and I was incorrect. It's Demi Moore that's in St. Elmo's Fire.
Oh Lord.
God damn it. What is the movie that she's in when she's like super young? Career Opportunities. Okay, jeez. And
Like
Labyrinth.
you're not thinking Requiem for a Dream, are you?
No, but she's great in that movie too.
Oh, okay,
Um
Dad.
Wait, is she in that?
Oh, she's in it. She's definitely in it, bro.
I've actually never seen Requiem for a Dream, and I don't think I'm gonna.
Don't need to watch it.
Yeah, Glenn Powell, our guy, he got his flowers after this. I mean, Glenn Powell is like one of the most famous actors out there right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he got to do a movie with Sydney Sweeney, so consider him the luckiest man in the world in my book. But I think you're right. It really goes between Miles Teller and Tom Cruise. Miles Teller's better. Tell me, like, argue. Miles Teller's great in this movie, dude.
Dude, there's no argue. I don't think like he actually does stuff with the character. Maverick is Maverick.
Yeah,
It's
Maverick is
like
Maverick.
you know what I mean?
Not only Maverick is Maverick, but like Tom Cruise is Tom Cruise, and
Yeah.
I respect Tom Cruise for being the upper echelon of actors for his entire career. For some reason, like he doesn't wow me. And you know what, Tom Cruise, you should take that's a big deal that you don't wow a niche amateur podcast host like me.
Hmm.
But like I just for some reason he's just doing whatever he's always doing, and I'm just like, ugh, whatever. I'd rather see Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder than Tom Cruise like this because he's just like this in every other
That's what I'm
movie.
saying. Like this is every Tom Cruise character in this movie.
Yeah,
That's like the stereotype of it. You know what I mean?
I'm just bored of it. So, but Miles Teller's great. Not to mention, like he's got to be Goose Junior. Like,
The fact that he
he
just
doesn't
they got
really.
the fact they got the look perfect is crazy.
I know the look is perfect, and yeah, I like Miles Teller a lot just as an actor. He's also one of those guys where like if he's
Yeah.
in a movie, like I'm gonna watch it. I.e. The Gorge. Like I watched The Gorge solely
Mhm.
because of Miles Teller. Like I really do like him a lot, and I do think he's really good in this. Enough that I think he could hold up his own Top Gun movie even after Tom Cruise maybe decides he doesn't want to do these anymore. Um, because Rooster's a cool character, and like make it about Rooster. Make Top Gun Rooster. I'm watching that.
Mhm.
So we're in agreement. It's Miles Teller though.
Yeah, yeah. There's no argument, and I'm glad we didn't have to argue about this one because you would have been
Good.
either of us would have been wrong if we tried to argue for Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Do you have what else you got for me on this movie? I mean, we've been talking about this for almost 2 episodes, so I think
Dude, I
we've given
think
Top Gun enough of its flowers. I'm actually really pleasantly surprised in a remake that was not shit, that was not too much pandering, that was not just fanfare. This was a really legitimately good movie. I think a lot of people need to go see it if they haven't.
I would I'd even say this is a great movie. I think like tight pacing, engaging story.
Yep.
The fighter planes are fucking sick. Like I don't think
Yeah.
you need anything else, right?
Cool
Um,
plans.
you know, I think this is so much better than the first one. I think if you've seen the first one, you haven't
Yeah.
seen this one.
I agree.
You need to see
I
this
agree.
one. Stat.
Yeah. This is
And but
better. This is
I'll give you
better.
the other point. I don't think you need to see the first one if like to watch this one. I don't think you need the first one because they literally tell you everything that happens important in the first one through flashbacks of the
They
first
do.
one. Like
Yeah,
literally,
they do. They literally have bits of the first movie in
yeah.
this movie. Like at least with Anthony Ed's character, like with Goose. But yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't think you need to watch Top Gun the original to watch Top Gun Maverick, but like it's not gonna hinder any of the story of Maverick. But like you should still do it. I think because if anything, watching Top Gun before Maverick will make you appreciate Maverick so much more.
Mhm.
It'll make you be like, oh, this is what it was
Well,
kind
because
of.
obviously there's so many callbacks, right? But like
Yeah,
even like smaller ones where it's like the first scene where he meets what is it Warlock and John Hamm's
yeah,
character.
yeah,
What's
yeah.
that
When he
name?
meets Warlock.
Yeah, and he's like talking to them about getting cleared for the wrongful death of Goose, and
Yeah,
he's
right,
like
right, right.
Captain Mitchell was cleared of all wrongdoing,
Yep.
and John Hamm's like, oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. John Hamm's like, not if I have anything to say about it.
yeah,
You're screwed. No, I think, yeah. Watch it just so that you can see. And again, I can't stress enough. Like the cinematic elements make this movie so great, and like you have to go back and watch this 1986 movie, kind of like a period piece, and see like what they were trying to do from a cinematic perspective. And then you can look at this movie now and be like, well, first of all, how far has technology come? And second of all, like this is how it's supposed to look. It's supposed to look like this. And boy, do they make it look great. Yeah, no notes, no notes. Phenomenal, fun remake. And I hope we get another one. I really do. I hope that they kind of do again. I'll watch it. I'll see it in theaters.
yeah.
And I'm usually not the kind of guy who wants to see a remake. So, high praise coming from me. But yeah, man. What? I mean, I guess we'll have an offline conversation about it. But what are we gonna do next? And I don't know. We gotta think of a good next movie.
Yeah,
I'm sure we'll
we
come up
do.
with one.
We got a couple on the backlist already, but I feel like we kind
I
of
think it's
switch
time to
up.
consult the. I think it's time to consult the list.
I think it might be time we solve the list. I
All right.
also think I kind of like the sequel action we do. Yeah, a little
Yeah,
one-two punch here.
definitely. Yeah, yeah. I like the
Um,
1-2 punch.
you know, I think we get a lot of options. Let's
I agree. We'll talk about it offline.
maybe we put up a little Instagram poll. Like you're better at that shit than me.
Ooh, I
You put
like
up
a
a little
poll.
poll that
I
just
like a
like it's like
poll.
but instead of a poll because like I don't want to give like just a suggestion box type shit. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. Like a one or a
Yeah,
two,
yeah,
like what
yeah,
we
yeah.
did
Like
for
a
Res
respond to
Dogs,
me
or
type thing.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. Okay,
Um,
yeah. I
all
like
right,
that. I
quick
like that a
end of the
lot.
podcast. Shout out my sister. I forgot to do this at the beginning, which we could just
Oh
edit this
yeah,
in the beginning.
yeah,
Um, shout out her web series High and Dry
yeah. Shout out
comedy
High and
series.
Dry.
Yeah. I
We
think
can put that in the beginning.
yeah, we'll put it in the beginning. We'll
All
just
right,
edit this.
cool.
Master editor Dan will take all this stuff out.
I got it. All right. Well, this has been another episode of the Sidebar Podcast. The podcast,
The
movie,
movie, the
the
experience,
experience, the
the
ride.
ride.